everybody to another episode of Stop and Think Motion. I realize it's been a really long time since I made another episode. But remember these words I said on the previous episode? That's it for today's episode. I suggest you play around and get a feel for your program while you wait for my next episode. Well, unless you recently viewed that video, I think a year is plenty enough time to get a feel for your program, wouldn't you say? Well, as I was thinking about one of the many subjects I could go over for stop motion before beginning the actual animation process, gotta learn how to crawl before you can walk, I just could not for the life of me think of a topic I could go over in a reasonable amount of time. That's when this guy commented on my channel and made the suggestion on that I could do lighting. Of course! Lighting is so simple, I don't even think about it, yet it is so essential that it can make or break an animation video. Now, before we go any further, I do need to add in a disclaimer. I consider lighting to be one of my most worst subjects when it comes to animation. I know the bare basics and that's about it. So please do not come to me asking me if this studio light or whatever will produce great lighting or not, because I will most likely know about as much as you do in terms of great lights and lighting effects. So, the most common mistake anyone can make in terms of lighting is shooting in daylight. In order to become a true stop-motion animator, you must be turned into a vampire. Oh no! No! Not those kind of vampires! Take the image away! I'd rather see Windows Movie Maker than this! Oh, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? So the reason I mention daylight is because a lot of animators will shoot their stop motions either outside or in a room in daylight where the sun is coming in from windows and producing all of the light. That is a no-no! Sunlight and stop motion do not mix, and that will be the cause of any flickering coming from your videos. Why? Because think about it. You could be animating for half an hour to several hours. While you are doing that, the sun is moving around, which in turn changes the lighting. So, with that said, how do we become one with the night? Vampires are forever ruined for me. Go away, nobody wants you! There are two simple solutions to fixing your little natural light problem. The first and easiest solution would be to do all of your filming at night when the sun is down. However, if you need sleep like a normal human being does and don't want to stay up all night, solution number 2 would be to cover up all the windows in your room you are shooting an animation in. Whether it be blankets or cardboard or something. Doesn't matter, just get rid of the pesky sun so you don't deal with flickering issues.
But Crypto, now my room is completely dark and all I'm getting are poorly lit images.
Never fear, desk lamps are here. I am sure there is something a lot more professional for lighting to use than desk lamps, but as I said, I am not an expert in lighting, and I've used desk lamps for lighting for years for my animations, and they have served me well. So the ideal number of desk lamps you will want is at least 2, and you can get these things for crazy cheap. Also, make sure the light bulbs inside both of your desk lamps have the same lighting type and brightness. The reason I say 2 desk lamps is because with one, well, look at this mess. With one desk lamp, you're either having too much light on your character, or if you try to angle it, half of your shot is going to be darker than the other half and it just doesn't look good. At least with 2 desk lamps, both pointing at your set at an angle, the light is even on both sides and not too much is being casted out onto our character, or characters.
But Crypto, why can't I use the ceiling lights instead?
Well, dear viewer, there are a few problems with ceiling lights. While they might seem fine at first, you are only giving your character an overhead light, one you can't move around and adjust to your heart's content. Ceiling lights may work against you as well because your camera just won't get the same detail of your character like a desk lamp would. Desk lamps just overall look better than relying on overhead lights, not to mention some homes with weird wiring may cause your lights to flicker from time to time, which will bring you again into the issue of flickering stop motion videos. By using desk lamps, you are giving yourself more control over your set, your film will look better, and you eliminate any risk of flickering if your ceiling lights do have a problem like that. Congratulations! You officially know as much about lighting as I do. Let's celebrate! There is one last thing I will mention about lighting. If you are using a webcam, open up your webcam program and see if your webcam allows you to mess with manual controls in its options menu. If you're on a DSLR, set your camera into full manual mode. If your webcam is awesome enough, it will allow you to get rid of auto controls and allow you to control most of your camera. Auto controls are great and everything, but they can also mess with your video and cause flickering. Auto controls allow some computer chip to determine what lighting to use, and that can change a ton when you are shooting over 100 pictures. You are smarter than the computer, so turn auto controls off if you can. You want manual controls over the lighting, exposure, and white balance. If any of these shift in the balance of good and flicker, the Fire Nation wins and wrong show. Some webcams may offer an option that says something like anti-flickering or something along that term. Be sure to turn that off, as it can also work against you in terms of auto control versus manual. Believe me, you want as much control over your capturing devices as you possibly can get. With that all said and done, congratulations! You now know how to prevent bad lighting and flickering. Now remember, if I find out you watch this video and still do bad habits like praising the sun,
I will devour your soul.
Alright everyone, that's it for this episode. If you like what you saw and know anybody trying to learn stop motion or wanting to be better at it, please share this video with them. Not only does it help them get better, it helps me produce more content in these tutorials, to which I will be trying to upload more of instead of waiting another year to do. Until next time, I will see you on the next episode of Stop and Think Motion.